Now, heading down the cafe on the weekend can be fantastic fun, but it can also be expensive. I've got a cracking breakfast I'm going to show that you can make at home, super easy. Let's get cooking. First step we're going to do is, I've got some chorizo here. So we're doing some baked eggs. Some people call it shakshuka, but I can never pronounce it properly. So baked eggs, some beans, really healthy. So rough, dice, slice, chop, however you want to do it, into a hot pan. We're going to go in with a red onion next. Now all of this is just roughly chopped. Don't worry about getting a real fine dice on anything. Rough and ready. Just want to get a little bit of colour on the chorizo and onion, bring out some of the sweetness in that onion. All right, grab a little spoon. And as you can see, I haven't put any oil in there yet, so that chorizo is quite fatty. So we may get away with not adding any oil. We'll just make a call on that. Right, we'll keep chopping while that does its thing. Capsicum, these are all kind of Spanish flavors, I guess, tomatoes, chorizo, chili, eggs, Spanish, Mexican kind of flavors going on. So capsicum's perfect. We're gonna get that in there. Same thing, cook it off, bring out the sugars in the capsicum. Just get rid of that membrane there. It can be a little bit bitter. Now this is kind of anything in the bottom of your fridge you could put in. If you didn't have onions, but you had shallots, they could go in. If you had a zucchini and not capsicum, that could go in. The rules with my cooking is there is no rules. So a few vegetables from the bottom of the fridge is always good to throw in. If you can get vegetables into a breakfast, that's a good thing with me. Capsicum goes in. I've also got some fresh thyme here. Any dried herbs could go in, dried oregano, any of your mixed herbs, rosemary, any hard herbs will kind of work well in this dish. That's probably enough. All right, you can just see that we're getting some nice colour on the chorizo. Just want those vegetables to soften down a little bit. All right, the next thing I'm going to go in with is some tomato paste. So about a heaped tablespoon of tomato paste. And with tomato paste, you always want to fry it off before you add in any other extra tomatoes or any other liquid. So we just want to give that tomato paste a little stir fry just to cook it off and get that raw edge off it. All right, I love a bit of chili. Nothing like a bit of chili to wake you up on the weekend. A little over half a teaspoon, spice things up a little bit. All right, we can go in with our tomatoes now. So I've got 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. Pour those in. Now, whenever I use tomatoes in a recipe, I always like to add a little smidge of sugar. It just kind of helps balance up the acidity of the tomatoes. 2 teaspoons of sugar. This is starting to smell very good. If any of your kids are still in bed when you're cooking this, I can tell you they're going to start to get out of bed at this point now, because you can start to smell that smoky chorizo, tomatoes, the onion. Now I've got some mixed beans here. You could use any kind of beans, kidney beans, borlotti beans, any tin beans is great. It's a great way of getting some protein into your breakfast in the morning. All right, give that a mix around. Gonna give that a simmer for about 3 or 4 minutes just to thicken up, and then we're gonna add in the eggs. All right, now I need a lid or some foil, or you just need to cover this to create an oven to cook them eggs. So I don't know where my lid is, but this will do. Anything you can find that's just gonna create an oven to kind of steam them eggs. Depending on how you like your eggs cooked, I like mine still a little bit runny in the middle. I reckon 4 to 5 minutes, which gives us time to grill up some bread. You can't have this dish without a bit of dippy bread action going on. All right, 3 or 4 minutes has passed. Look at that. Now how I'm gonna test these eggs, of course, just give it a little wobble test. I can see there the yolks have got a bit of movement still. So for me, I know they're soft. If you want them hard cooked, just leave them on there for another couple of minutes. Easy as that. I'm gonna call that done. Poachy eggs in that spicy chorizo. I've got some parsley here, bit of zhuzh. That's what the cafes do. And a little bit of lemon. You can even serve some lemon wedges with this as well. Look at that. You'd pay a lot of money for that down the cafe. Why would you go to the cafe if you can make this at home, stay in your pajamas, with your bedhead, no one needs to see you, maybe even charge your kids some money for it. Give it a go, you'll like it.